Amazing audience. Good. Well, I have to say, good, beautiful Canada Day. So it is Canada Day today, and of course, you're seeing Bruce Langford, and he's wearing that and standing with that proud. Unfortunately, Facebook twists the images sometimes, but this says
Canada.
Municipality of
Thames
Thames Center. Thames, all right, Thames, Canada Day. So there we go. Amazing audience, this is Bruce Langford. Bruce was on my podcast. I had a conversation with him, but it worked different though. I met Bruce at Podfest 2017. Then he came on the podcast, thankfully, and now I'm getting to meet him where he lives in Canada. And he's real.
And you're real.
There's no green screen here. He's real. So Bruce, how are you doing? Like, what's the latest? What have you been up to from the last time we spoke?
I'm doing great. I'm really enjoying my podcast still, Mindfulness Mode. I'm up to episode 235. I think, no, 335.
Wow, because when we spoke, you just hit the 200 mark.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 335.
Right.
And I've interviewed some fantastic people. And
Yeah.
It's been exciting. And I'm moving more into doing some consulting, corporate consulting on the topic of mindfulness.
Wow.
So I'm moving into that area, and so it's exciting.
That's great. Now you have moved from the bullying aspect of what you teach completely?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, tell us a bit about what you did there in terms of that.
Yeah, so I was a teacher in a school and I taught music. And I really enjoyed teaching music, but I noticed that some kids were being bullied a lot. And this was back in 2003 when bullying wasn't being talked about very much. And I thought, somebody needs to do something about this. And I put together a musical program because I was a music teacher. And I started going into schools, and then I became an entrepreneur and did hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shows where I was Benny DL and I was ATFM radio, and we're coming to you live from your school. So that's what I did with the anti-bullying work.
That's amazing. And now your podcast has really opened the door then for you to consult on mindfulness.
Yes.
So express a bit more about and around mindfulness and the potency of it for us, please.
Well, because mindfulness will help you to have less stress, less feeling of overwhelm, and more of a feeling of contentment, that you're really happy with your life. Because mindfulness really means to live in the moment and not be so concerned about the past and not be so focused on the future, to live in now. And if you can truly achieve that, it does change how you feel about your life, how you feel about stresses that would potentially slow you right down to a halt, but instead you can work through them and you can move forward.
That's amazing. How has it affected your marriage?
I think it's been a really, really good thing for our marriage. I've always felt that my wife has a natural level of mindfulness.
Yeah.
Nobody needed to teach her. She didn't need to read any books or anything like that. She just has this way of living in the present. And I think that's what made me want to be more like that as well.
Wow. And how has it affected your fatherhood?
It's made me way more patient.
Which is needed with children.
It is.
It is needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It totally is needed, yeah. And I have an awesome son, and he's amazing. But like every father-son relationship, there are times when, you kind of think, okay, just take some deep breaths.
Yeah.
And he, like I said, he's 16 and he edits most of my podcast episodes, and he works with me on the podcast. And when you have that relationship, not only father-son but employer-employee, that takes a special kind of mindfulness.
It does.
As well.
It does. My wife and I work together. We know what he's talking about. Well, one of the segments we cover is your own unique real shoes. And that is an extension of yours, which is your own unique real self. What we've realized is that sometimes an individual sees your shoes or your flip-flops and they think, okay, that's nice, but they aren't able to identify the struggles that usually go with those.
Right.
What is one struggle you've had over the last 2 to 3 years that you'd like to share with us?
I think one of the struggles is learning how to effectively outsource things that I need to be moving on to someone else.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy for me to just be busy all the time doing things that I feel are important, and then I notice that I'm not moving ahead far enough on the goals I really want to achieve. So I'm still working on that, trying to figure out exactly what to outsource, because I realize in order to outsource things, you have to be extremely clear on what it is you want that other person to do and how you want them to do it.
Yeah. It's as though you're giving away your baby, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
Especially with a podcast, right? I mean,
Yes.
like, you're carrying your child by even the grandmother, and you're giving, or even the daycare, and you're giving all of the instructions. No, she doesn't, or he doesn't. It's a lot like that.
It is.
Are you sure, though, that that's the thing that you need to do in terms of outsourcing?
No, I'm not sure.
Interesting.
I always am open to suggestions.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense that I need to be moving things to someone else that do take me quite a bit of time to do. The thing that I find is that when I talk to other podcasters, a lot of them do not enjoy transcribing, they don't enjoy editing, they don't enjoy doing a lot of these things, and I do enjoy them.
Well, I mean, I would consider that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I would consider that, because if you do enjoy it, then it brings health to you.
True.
Because if you feel great, then you're going to feel great, and that just ripples off. So it's one of the things I've realized, that sometimes what everyone else is doing is not necessarily the thing I need to do or not do.
True.
I'm just usually I do not give advice, folks. I usually ask questions, but it's Bruce and I love him. So you're welcome. So, all right. When you heard that this guy from Trinidad was coming to visit you, what did you think?
I was just totally excited. Totally excited. I thought it'll be great to meet you again in person,
Yeah.
and to talk with you and Amanda, and just spend time with you. So
Yeah.
I was totally excited, and totally excited for my wife and son to meet you as well.
Yeah, they seem amazing. What are you most excited about right now?
I'm most excited about taking the action I need to take so that I am actually doing the live presentations or the consulting jobs that I want to do. And I realize it's a step-by-step process. In other words, I need to start with some smaller companies and do some of those and get some endorsements, and then move to some others and some others.
Yeah.
And I am in the process of doing that, so I'm really excited about it.
With all you've done to this point, do you have any regrets in life?
Not really. I just think you just have to take chances and move forward. And certainly I've made mistakes. There have been things I've done that I looked back and I thought, oh man, why did I do that crazy thing? But at the same time, you learn from your mistakes, and it doesn't make sense to think of a life with no mistakes. That makes no sense at all, because that's exactly where I've learned things. So
Yeah.
I don't have regrets.
I love that. What would you like to share in closing with our amazing audience?
Well, I'd like to share just, put yourself before the idea of success and money. And I think it's very easy to think, I want to make a lot of money, I want to be successful, how do I do that? And you just work. But I think before you do that, you have to look at your personality, at your needs. You have to get to know who you really are and understand that. And when you're comfortable with that, and you can honestly say, I love myself for who I am, then you can move forward. And I'm not saying anything about you being spiritual, how spiritual you are. There's a spiritual part to all of us, I believe, that we need to be cognizant of. But I think that we all have to put ourselves before the money and the success piece.
I love that. What else do I need to say there, folks? Bruce, when we spoke last and I listened to the podcast, one of the things you said in the last end, you said, I said, what's your own unique real statement? You said, take action. Do not just read the book and put it down. Take action. And I'm glad that you said that, because at that point in time, the effects of that today, listening to that conversation, just really helped push me through another time to understand, yes, take action. Yeah, so I'm glad that you took action and you have us here tonight, right? Today, right? And it just speaks, it means that you're walking the talk. You are taking action. So thank you for that.
And thank you for coming. I'm so excited to have you and Amanda here.
Same here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Bruce Langford, folks. He's real. Thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you.